This is the recap of The Simpsons Season 34 Episode 22. Sit back and enjoy the video, and please don't forget to subscribe. At the beginning of this episode, we see Homer coming out of the first bank in rage. He walks down the stairs and starts kicking every object he sees on the floor. The fun part is when a boy has a kick me page on his back, Homer takes it and puts it on the bag beside the boy and kicks it. Homer then leaves in his car, wondering why he has become this much angry. Out of his rage, Homer runs through the traffic by overcutting every vehicle on the road, so he comes at a traffic signal. An old beggar comes and begs to Homer, as he has no teeth, so whatever he speaks with lips. And in return, Homer starts mocking him and leaves as he still remains angry. Later, while driving, Homer reveals the reason for his anger when he says to execute his rage on his wife Marta, so he takes his phone and types an angry message to Marta while driving. Apparently, Homer distracts from his driving and runs into a fire hydrant and crashes. Now everything, including Homer, is in slow motion. Homer first thinks that he has a seatbelt on, but after realizing that he used it in making a bed in his lawn, he puts his mind to thinking about the airbag, which he also used on that bed. Losing some hope, he remains optimistic and believes that the windshield will stop him safely. What an idiot. But Homer crashes through the shattering window. Homer, while hovering as if he is in space, starts complaining about his surroundings being fantastic to him from his view. However, Maggie's little elf appears on top of Homer, waking up Homer as the time is not right to be relaxed. Homer reaches the top of the fire hydrant and says that he is having a great time when the elf tries to make Homer realize that he is in a tragic moment in the present. She says that Homer is experiencing something called post-traumatic elation. Once she is tired, she slaps Homer to make him realize and finally succeeds when Homer admits it. Now, after making Homer come to his consciousness, the elf tries to project the past event and see the source of Homer's rage. At first, Homer was present in the first bank when he was communicating with the bank's employees. Homer asks to have a safe deposit box in the bank to save his potato chip that resembles the former president of the U.S., Mr. Richard Nixon. But, the employee checks the database and informs Homer that someone from his family is already holding a safe deposit box, and it is Marta, Homer's wife. Back in the locker room, Homer is shown a willing letter written by Homer's father-in-law. And in the letter, it is written that Marta will be given $1,000 each month from her father. However, Homer has no idea of this money, and this was the reason Homer was angry. Back to the present Homer, where he is about to crash into a tree. The special cookie of Richard Nixon is first smashed into the tree, and in the meantime, Homer is only questioning why Marta didn't let Homer know about her money. However, Bart and Lisa's projection appears, referring to Homer, who informs him that they knew about their mother receiving this money from some time. Bart says that he was blowing steam on Marta's letters and somehow he saw the willing letter. Then they both went to Marta, where she revealed it to her children. At first, Bart concludes Marta's reason in a playful manner by saying that Mom said she hid the truth as Homer keeps on eating the bugger sandwiches. Homer then loses his hope and tries to swim to crash into the tree. However, Gooby Woo tells Homer that she might reveal the truth, but asks for a guess from Homer himself. What Homer imagines is that, whenever Homer leaves the home, Marta calls in some cool muscular bodybuilders to help her in home chores and then puts on a disco party with a butt-swagging robot. However, the elf questions why Homer is thinking in such a way, as Marta is a much greater person than his imagination. Then the elf tells Homer in a song she sings, that Marta is spending all her cash whenever Homer is in any problem. And the reason for not telling Homer is to save his pride. And so, Homer has passed through the tree he was about to crash into, and after this, the elf accidentally speaks out about Homer's father-in-law, which she denies to say. However, Homer gazes into the life of Homer and Marta's life before their marriage. Marta's father tells Marta that Homer is useless and has no job, but Marta believes in Homer and convinces her father to marry Homer for her last hope. However, in order to make sure Marta is safe and well, her father wills to leave behind something special for Marta. Homer now is thinking about how he can rewind the exact moment of his presence at the time of Marta's conversation, whereas the elf tells Homer that he is dead now. Now, Homer sees himself in a very bright place, thinking as if he is in heaven. However, upon seeing a devil with his pitchfork, Homer realizes that he has been brought to hell, after committing the sin of wrath against his father-in-law. Whereas the remaining 6 of the 7 deadly sins, Mark happens to follow all of them in the very last moment of his life. Homer is brought to the check-in, and on the other side, a devil train arrives at the station to take the hell residents to hell, and then another train comes with the former residents of heaven who are now brought to hell, including William Shakespeare, who comes straight away talking about Othello. Back to Homer, He is being informed to wait the line until his time arrives to be boiled in the water. Homer stays in the line for some time and gets bored, so one of the devil guards comes and hands him over a buzzer that will burn Homer's stomach on fire when it rings. Homer inspects hell, as you can see the background of what is going on in hell. Yes, exactly. After some time, Homer sees a bunch of men playing poker, resembling the world and the superpower states playing poker in their respect to the world. Most importantly, Homer sees his father-in-law there as well, so Homer can't get a hold on himself and starts punching him. The Russian diplomatic politician, Alexander Izvolsky, then comes and holds Homer, saying that they have standards in this place so Homer should behave. Homer's father-in-law takes Homer for a walk where a screen pops up. The screen shows Homer's future when Lisa brings home her fiancé. However, this guy is extremely angry, but Lisa convinces her parents that he is the best guy and she wants to marry her. After watching this, Homer realizes that he starts to see things from another point of view. In the meantime, Homer is burned when the buzzer rings. And so his call to be boiled in Hell's Lake is called. But just as this happens, the devil worker arrives telling Homer that he has been given another chance to live his life. And so, Homer comes back to the world and thanks Gooby Woo for making him realize the true facts. In the meantime, his family and the ambulance arrive and take Homer to the hospital. Marty then asks Homer about the angry message Homer sent to her. In response, Homer says that he has learned the rightful way and that it doesn't matter anymore. But actually, Marty complains to the doctor that there is nothing she can understand of lisps of Homer. Marty then gives her money to the doctor and hopes to buy her purse the next month, as now she is short of money. And so, Gooby Woo starts singing and the episode ends. In an after-credit scene, Lizzo is revealed doing her voiceover for the character of Gooby Woo. There the episode finishes. If you like our video, please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss more amazing recaps like that.